You know why I chose Creole? I chose Creole because I love the food. Creole isn't just a language, but an identity given to slaves that arrived in Louisiana back in 1718. But as years went on, the name they were given soon developed into the unique and enrapturing culture that includes things like voodoo, rich, spicy, crazy foods, and other excitements. The Creole culture has a dark history in its early years, but its food, language, and excitements and religion has uplifted their culture and built it to be one of a kind and their own. After research about the Creole culture, I have realized how rich and exciting Creole is and how fascinating they are with everything they do. So with that said, I hope you listen and find this fascinating and appealing. From a young age, I have always been fascinated with the foods that are developed from the Creole culture, to the way it tastes and how much spice is used. I just can't get enough of it. I also have an interest for voodoo. It might sound disheartening at first, but I'm more interested in its rituals and the way they perceive the world. The main topics I will present are Creole's language, their cuisine, and religion. Language. In the 1700s, French occupied the Louisiana territory. So this means that the slaves had to learn how to speak French in order to understand their masters. In 1803, French sold their Louisiana territory to the United States of America for a whopping $15 million, or $18 for every square mile. Kind of cheap for nowadays. Which America gained over 800,000 square miles of new territory. Once this happened, English-speaking Americans and slaves moved to the new territory, so on top of the French language mixing in with the Creole African language, it merged with English, causing it to have a distinct sound and a confusing but same time understanding because they use so many English words. Here's an example of the words they use. Hello is bonjour, which is of French descent. Table is table, which shows how English has mixed in with the words they use. Blue is bleu, kind of similar. Market is market, it just has a little squiggly over the E. Our next topic is food. Food is a main part of tourism in the Creole culture. It brings in most of their money. About 53 million people visit Louisiana in 2019, with about $18 billion going to Louisiana cuisine, economy, and culture. Let's start off with some history. Since the French had occupied the Louisiana territory for so long, their food had an effect on Creole cuisine. The French had slaves, so they were fed French-related foods, mixing it in other stuff the Creole people scavenged around. Getting to the Creole cuisine, the most common ingredient used is rice. Rice is used as a flavor soaker to soak up all the spices so that after you finish eating, you still taste them and have. A famous dish that is very popular with the South is gumbo. Gumbo came to be due to slaves needing belly-filling food, but also delivered deliciousness. Gumbo consists of different types of meat, such as chicken, crab, sausage, or anything else you could think of that would be amazing. Gumbo also contains a mixed variety of veggies, and yours truly, rice, which is a major factor in Creole cuisine. A common veggie that is in gumbo is okra pods, or filet, a French word that they use for okra. Best way to describe gumbo is warm, home-cooked seafood soup on a bed of rice, and let me tell you, it is some of the best stuff I've ever had. Here's a picture of gumbo. You can see all the meats, and you can see also rice and some of the okra that is very common in their dishes. Voodoo. Many people have a dark, demonizing view of their religion, but it isn't all that. It's just a religion like anybody else's religion. So how would you feel if you were talking bad about your religion? What is voodoo, you may ask? Voodoo is the practice of getting attached to a spirit or connecting with spirits in the invisible world, which is like a Christian's heaven and hell and stuff like that. It is where they believe the spirits are. The way they connect to the spirits is through rituals or magic, you can say. Normally at a voodoo ritual, believers gather outdoors to make contact with the Loa, pantheon of spirits who have various functions of running the universe. Very similar to how Catholics have their saints and how they pray to their saints if they want to be helped in a certain category or situation in their life. Like many religions, voodoo followers also have a main creator. The name is Bondi. In the voodoo, they say he is the creator and the one who made the gods. He is the person who created the universe and the person that is the most powerful and the most looked up upon person. Here's a picture of Bondi. Bondi is described in Creole culture as the good god. But in this picture, I have a Bondi. He doesn't look like the good god. But he is said to help many Creole people and with any problems they have. So voodoo is a very key aspect in the Creole culture. The Creole culture down in Louisiana is one of a kind, with many things to offer and enjoy, such as their language, food, and religion. People should make the time to visit and have a first-hand experience. The world is full of different kinds of people and many eye-opening experiences that correlate with their culture. People should explore outside their comfort zone to learn about fascinating cultures and how to respect them. And that is the end of my presentation. Creole people.